So she just wrote her first book. Yes. Build an Empire, How to Have It All. And I mean, that was the perfect title. Yes, definitely. So I am going to ask you a few questions. We'll make it conversational style, and then we'll open the floor to a few questions. Sounds good? Does that sound good? Got to keep the energy alive. Okay, so Elena, how do you manage it all, being a woman, a wife, a mom, and now an author?
Well, first off, hats off to all the ladies out there because it is not easy being a woman. And I think we all do a pretty damn good job of it. How do I manage it all? I don't really, I just do my life, so I figure out what needs to be done, and that's what I focus my attention on at that moment. I outsource a lot of activities. The bigger that we've gotten and the more that we have expanded, the less I can do all by myself. So when I was willing to let go of being the hero that had to do everything because I thought no one could do it as good as me, I can actually get more done and spend more quality time with my children, the more I was actually able to delegate and let other people do things for me. But sometimes that is hard to let go of that, I don't know if you want to call it control or just that guilt maybe we feel that we have to do it all, or maybe not wanting to ask or whatever. But the more that I'm doing, it's because the more I have a team around me. It's a team effort that backs me, and we back each other in order to accomplish more and to expand and grow.
I think that's so important because I think a lot of people just starting out, raise your hand if you're just starting out in business. Okay, how many of you 3 years in business? Okay, I think delegation is the hardest thing because it's like our baby.
Yeah, and also, especially when you're just starting out, the solopreneurs, they want to do everything. They want to do the sales, they want to do the accounting, they want to do the follow-up, then they have to do mom, then they have to do wife, and then you have to do grocery shopping. I mean, it's just not even comprehensible. Like, and you think you want to do that in order to save money for your business, but what you don't realize is that when you're doing everything, you're actually not expanding. You're not growing. Like, at some point, you're just going to have to invest in people, because people, when you really have the right team and the right people, they don't cost you money. People actually build and help you grow your empire. So at some point, if you want to expand, you just have to, that's part of an empire. An empire is not one person. An empire has never been built by one person alone. It's never happened in the history. So, I mean, at some point, you're just going to have to let other people into the fold and bite the bullet and hire people and expand and grow, and then hire people and expand and grow and hire people until you're global.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to know, how is it like working with your husband?
I think realistically, anyone who works with their husband is going to have a difficult time at it from time to time. I mean, business is not always easy. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not easy being kicked in the face over and over and over and being told no and rejected. And that brings a lot of tension into the marriage, into the relationship. And there's things that you have to be willing to let go and not fight with your spouse about in order to achieve the big picture. So when you have your goals and your purpose is big enough, you can let those little things slide. But the most important thing to realize, if you are going to go into business with your partner, or even in life, you have to delegate who does what. You have to get real and honest. I mean, you don't have to. This is just, there's probably many ways that you can go about doing this. This is just what I've learned has really accelerated our success exponentially in a very short amount of time. We didn't always start off like this. But once we figured out and got honest with who is good at what. Are you good at accounting? Are you good with kids? Are you good with the follow-up? I mean, who does what? And break down what all needs to be done and achieved, and then you make up who's the general of that department. Grant, it just so happens that we have a traditional kind of setup, whereas he is really good with the business. So he is the general of that area. I can advise, I can give my opinion, but at the end of the day, he makes those decisions. It's not about us not being equal as husband and wife, or he doesn't respect me. It's no, he's the general because he's proven in that area. And in the end of the day, I back his decisions no matter what. It just so happens that I'm really good with the home and with the kids, and it's just my thing. So I'm the general in that area, and he cannot bypass me in that area. He cannot be big boss man at home. I'm boss lady at home, and that's the way we set it up. So we're not constantly trying to fight each other because we're both extremely powerful, strong people who want to win, and we compete at everything. And I mean, we'll devour each other if we don't have these roles delegated between ourselves. So if you're going to work with your husband or wife, I would strongly suggest that, you know, once you figure out who does it, then you realize that you are the junior in that department, and you're not the. You've got to separate the hats of being the husband and the wife. In that particular role in the office, I respect him as if I was another employee of the company.
I think that has to do with even if you're not in business together, but like having that support. But it comes off where you are confident in who you are. And I think that has a lot to do, because if you are insecure in one sense, you are going to not be able to be fully there for your partner. So what helps you build your confidence?
I talk about this a lot. I keep saying you have to. I feel like I'm lecturing.
You have
You
to.
have to do this.
Get this down on paper.
You don't have to do anything. But I have found that when I have become an asset to myself, I become invaluable to the relationship and to the community, and that makes the partner that I'm with, and vice versa, sexy and appealing after 15 years. So I don't sit back and say, oh, I'm entitled to this and he needs to do that for me because of this. Like I feel like I work and earn everything in every state that I'm in. So in my own goals, because we have three columns that we go by. The couple's goals, like who are we as a couple? And then he has his column, which is his goals and my goals. And my individual goals are like, I have competition shooting, and now I'm training martial arts. It helps me in life to be tough, to be strong, to be disciplined, not to pick an argument with him when he deserves it. You know, that stuff helps me in life to become a better person, to become a better asset, to figure out the chess moves in life. Like, how do I play this scenario? How do I do that? Everything is very calculated and, you know, and mercurial. Like, I have to switch a lot from being powerful businesswoman to playful mom to making him a meal when he comes home to, you know, and that's what I've chosen to do. It's not like you need to make me the dinner and, you know, that's just our setup. So how I do that is just by all the columns in my column. That's what I do that feed us ultimately for the couple's goal, which is the real game that we're interested in playing. I'm not interested in just doing me. I did just me for 30 years before we got married. I took myself to as high as I could go, and now I'm playing a different game. And the game I'm playing now is, how do I do this with a family and be that family that is like, yes, this can be done. We can create families again. We can create relationships. Relationships can actually be the new currency.
I love that, because as a single woman, it's hard. I mean, to be confident in yourself and find a partner who supports you and is confident in them. But I really want to, you talked about how you took yourself to the highest level. Talk about that transition. You were a Hollywood actress for a while. So can you share a little bit about that journey, that cutthroat industry, and how that's applied to who you are today?
That industry is very cutthroat. It's extremely tough. You have to deal with a lot of rejection and politics. I mean, not politics, but you understand politics, industry politics. And that doesn't really change much, I've learned, now that I stepped into understanding the entrepreneurial world and how business heads operate. It's brutal. It's really brutal sometimes. It can be. And how I just made that transition, or how that helped me, is they just seem very similar. You know, I've had to have a thick skin. I've had to be tough. I've had to survive in Los Angeles at 17 until we left, kind of by myself. And you know, and I feel like everything that I've learned from that background has helped me become and be the strong woman that I need, that he needs me to be, that I need me to be, that my kids need me to be, my community need me to be. So nothing has ever really kind of held me back. I've used everything to my advantage.
And we see that. So I saw one of your Instagram posts from a past keynote where you said it's not about the money. If all the money was removed, you know, and you got really emotional. What brought on that emotion? Like, what's that underlying, like, why? Like, what means something, you know, what? Yeah, let's get deep.
Because I know who we are in our heart. And in our heart is we want to make a difference for the better on this planet. And I know that we live in an economic planet, and it pains me to see people that have the potential to achieve greatness, but because you have been misinformed about or miseducated about money, or because, and I don't want to get into my conspiracy theories, but because people at the top have systems in place to keep people where they are. It pains me because I know that if a boy from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and a girl from the streets of New Orleans can achieve and be together as a couple and as a partner, can rise to such a level that we have, and we're still not where we want to be. But I know that if we can do it, everyone just like us can do it. And I am very passionate about making an impact and leaving a legacy and trying to accomplish as much as I can with this little lifetime that I have.
Well, you are.